This is the Mind of the Meanie. Here are your hosts, the Blue Meanie and Adam Barnard.
Peace world and welcome everybody to the Mind of the Meanie, your weekly peek into the world according to former WWE superstar and ECW original, the Blue Meanie. We'll cover wrestling, music, movies, sports, and lots of useless knowledge, all contained in the Mind of the Meanie. I'm your tour guide, Adam Barnard, and he is the Blue Meanie. Meanie! As I'm hacking up a lung, what's on your mind?
Coming to you live via satellite.
Hell yes.
On the road again. I'm on the road. A little business, a little pleasure. Hanging out with my buddy Matt's Man Cave. I'm in Huntington, West Virginia.
Nice.
Right near where Marshall University is. And having a good time. Just doing a couple things down here. And then doing this. So happy to be here for another week.
Absolutely, man.
Happy to be you and our pod squad, and it's a beautiful day where we are. Hopefully it's a beautiful day where you are.
It is a beautiful, gorgeous, sunny morning here on Saturday morning. We want to thank you for joining us. And if you're watching us, thank you for joining us as well. We are here for episode 282, which I cannot believe that we are so close to episode 300.
Yeah.
And it's wild, man. I think that's going to be the name of the episode is 300. But some of the pod squads here. Jesse Brown, good morning, you beautiful people. Thank you. Good morning to you, sir. Andrew Bailey, hey now. Shackleford gets the hammer. Good morning.
Hey now.
Hey now. Well, we could start there, actually, if you want. There's been some rumor and innuendo, if you will, about the end of the Howard Stern show.
Yeah.
Which, as you know, is a pillar in both of our worlds.
Absolutely.
There's rumors and things that are going around. Oh wait, Jesse Brown says episode 300 we all dress as Spartans. You're fucking sold. I'm in. Get my best Spartan gear.
That's
I'm not wearing anything under the Spartan gear though. But I know it's been a major, it's been, like I said, a pillar in our lives. What are your thoughts? He's going to give a speech on the 2nd. What do you think about potentially the end of the Howard Stern show?
Oh, I'd been hearing rumors that like he was thinking about wrapping it up,
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Howard Stern, like a huge part of my upbringing. I was just saying this yesterday. Somebody posted something for Howard Stern's Butt Bongo Fiesta on YouTube, and I'm like, I can't believe I asked my grandparents to buy that for me, and they did.
Wow. Your grandparents bought you Butt Bongo Fiesta?
And Crucified by the FCC, which I still have.
That's amazing.
I think I still have both. Yeah. Bought Crucified by the FCC, which, Howard was the ultimate worker. He was like, I don't know how many of these are going to be left, get them now, and to build a sense of urgency to, run out and get these products. But yeah, dude, it was like one of those things. Like I lived in Atlantic City, and I always see the ads for a Howard Stern show for WISP in Philly. And we're too far. Atlantic City was too far from Philly to pick up the signal.
Mm-hmm.
Then somebody smarted me up to the fact that if you take a coaxial cable, like your cable from your TV, get a splitter, do the one split part of the splitter to your TV, so you get cable. But if you ran the other one into the antenna of your stereo, you could pick up all the Philly channels. Like it was like, so I did that, and I was listening to all the Philly channels. It was almost like listening to satellite radio before satellite radio because there's nothing to interfere with the signal. So I started listening to Howard Stern show.
Yeah.
Well, I couldn't listen during the day because I had to go to school. So here's my MacGyverism at work. I would get like a 6-hour VHS tape, and if he came on the air at 6 a.m., set the timer for the record. So what I would do is I would run the speaker out from the stereo to the audio in of my VCR. And then I would set my TV to like the Weather Channel or the community board that would have a clock on it. So at 6 a.m. every morning, a blank tape would just start recording. The screen would be the community thing or the weather channel. The audio would be the Howard Stern show. So I would come home from school, hit play, and like if a commercial came on, I fast forward. I would look at the clock to see how many minutes would go by to listen. That's how I listened to the Howard Stern show in high school. Because I was I wish I could have listened to it live, but
Yeah.
the thing about the Howard Stern show too, back in the day, he when he was on terrestrial radio, you catch that show at the wrong time, and you're listening to like 30 minutes of commercial.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God. Yeah, I remember. Oh my God.
You're like, oh, listen to Howard on the way to work. And
God.
your whole commute to work, it's
fucking commercials.
You call commercials, but he was a innovator.
Mm-hmm.
I always say, in a lot of ways, Howard reminds me of Vince McMahon, because back in the day there was territories, and Howard was like the first. He wasn't the first nationwide guy, but like he was the first localized radio show that would go into somebody else's market. And like Philly was like the first test crossover, like where Philly had the morning zoo on 93.3 WMMR.
Yeah.
And Howard went right head to head with the zookeeper, the morning zoo, John DeBella.
I was just gonna say, I thought that was John DeBella, wasn't it?
John DeBella, he was the zookeeper for the morning zoo, and went head to head and became this whole like pro wrestling type thing. Just like Vince would go into the AWA territory, and Howard would bring on John DeBella's ex-wife and put her on the dating game and all this stuff. It's crazy. But yeah, I listened to Howard, loved Howard. The Channel 9 show, which I was able to score a box set of. Then the Channel 9, then the E Channel show, which was legendary. But the fact that, you think about all the time he put in, early in his career. And then like as he gets to satellite, he's kind of, instead of doing 5 days a week, he's doing 4. And then he was slowly, I think he was slowly starting the process of winding it down over the years. And people are like, oh, he got canceled. No, he's not getting canceled. It's just like people are like, oh, so-and-so got released. No, they're just let their contract expire. His contract's probably going to just naturally run its course, run out. And I guess it's time for him to smell the roses, so to speak, because, on those early terrestrial radio days, he would do, 5 days a week. This show's supposed to go from like 6 to 10.
Yeah.
Dude, there've been plenty of times he would go to all the way to noon.
Yeah.
Yeah. He definitely put in overtime, on that show, especially if it was a good topic or like whoever he's battling that day, or, arguing with Baba Booey and stuff. But yeah. But yeah, just it's crazy. It's crazy to think that we're getting to that age where all the things that were part of our childhood are going away. We just lost Hulk Hogan, we lost Ozzy, Howard Stern's wrapping it up, which I had heard like months ago that he was talking about wrapping it up. But the thing that annoys me, I guess, is all the people celebrating that he's going away. Like, I see people who might have been competitors with him going, oh, the death of Howard Stern. Like, no, he's been around for 40 years. A lot of people have tried to emulate him to no luck. But he's been around 40 years. Yeah, go and enjoy retirement. Go and smell the roses and live a life, which he was kind of starting to do anyway, winding it down.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of like, it's funny you say that. There's so much about Howard that, for whatever reason, wraps into my life. Like the mornings going to school. Like I've talked about it before. Longtime listeners of the show, I used to have this fucking Walkman that I would take to school. and I would tune into YSP, because in Philadelphia it was 94 YSP, which is who had the radio station. You know, that's where Howard was.
Yeah.
And I would listen. There would be some mornings I would be in class when it would be like my science class, whatever it was called, plant and animal, and we'd have the labs and all that shit, right? And some mornings you get stuck with fucking commercials, so you're in class for half an hour, like you said, half an hour, 40 minutes. You're like, oh fuck, I can't even listen to the show. I can't even keep up what's going on. And then you have moments where you end up live streaming 9/11 in your ears, and you're like, oh fuck, this feels really important. You know, this is like a defining moment in my life. And it's weird to think about him not being on the radio and not being involved, you know, because I feel like he's transitioned into this like elder statesman in media in a lot of ways. You know, he's become this incredible interviewer, which we always kind of knew that he was. Like, I think that was one of those things that he never really got credit for through his career, was the fact that he just
one of the best,
one of the absolute best of all time. Like, and like, irrespective of anything you want to say about the guy, you can't take that away from him, you know? And, I've started to notice too, like, because I'm a serious subscriber, shout out to Dave LaGreca, and he, like, you can see that, like, he's starting to not be there as much. And, you know, once the pandemic hit, I don't think he's even been back in the studio since then, or he's starting to come back in. And, you know, like, at a certain point, what time, when do you be like, okay, well, maybe it's time to, you know, look at greener pastures. He's 71 years old, you know, like, he's done everything he possibly can in this medium, and then also before, you know, I mean, it's hard to explain or quantify just how important Howard was in that terrestrial radio field, right?
Yeah. And yeah. I mean, in a lot of ways, that early Howard Stern stuff was almost like the Attitude Era.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's like, what's he gonna, like in that scene of Private Parts? If they don't like him, why do they listen? They want to see what he says next. So,
yep,
I want to see what he says next. All over your words there, but
no, you're fine. No, it's like, yeah, I'm listening because I want to see what he says next. And then why do the people hate him? Listen for longer. I want to see what he says next. No, it's kind of like, I'm trying to just think of, I guess the Attitude Era would really be the right word for that, you know? But again, like you said, there would be days on terrestrial radio, you would hear him on the show, be like, oh, I'm way over commercial, I got to go to commercial. So then they pack in fucking an hour of commercial breaks, you know? And the same thing on satellite. I think it gave him a little bit more flexibility, but I'll never forget those early days. I'm sure I have the photo somewhere. I don't know if you remember what the original name of the Howard Stern channel was, but it was called Douche 100. And they did stupid shit. I remember one of the first things they did was have High Pitch Eric shit into a bag to see how much his shit weighed. And it was a whole thing. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, oh my God. I'm sure if I go back into like my music archives, I have that external hard drive and I have all of my, like, a shit ton of MP3s and Howard Stern episodes.
Yeah.
I know for sure I have the 9/11 episodes, but I'm pretty sure I have Crucified by the FCC too, because they did the audio version of it. But yeah, dude, and then end of an era, if it is coming. I know that he said he's going to be coming back September 2nd to comment and let everybody know where he is. But again, like, I wouldn't be surprised, you know, it would be disappointing, you know, it wouldn't be shocking to find out that he's retiring, but
you know, he definitely was like one of the best interviewers. Always did, like, Howard would always do this trick where he is, and by the way, if you hear a beep in the background, it's not a microwave. It's something else. So I'm in a submarine. He would do this thing where he would purposely, like, kind of go to say, like, if I'm interviewing you, and there's something incident you're well known for, he would purposely, like, say something to you, and one of the effects would be slightly off, so that the person answering the question would feel compelled to tell the real truth and probably give up details they normally wouldn't have given up.
Man.
Yeah, just asked a question about it. He's like, yeah, that thing, didn't you do that? And people go, oh, no. Here's what happened. And then they would start spilling the beans. And, you know, Howard was really good for getting people to, you know, talk about that. You know, but, you know, I mean, so many moments with the Howard Stern show, you know, like, his invasion into Philadelphia.
Yep.
Yeah, with the zookeeper. You know, went out to California. My favorite was when Howard would do the shows from Vegas.
Oh yeah.
And Artie Lang was just out of control.
Oh man.
Sadly, we saw what road Artie went down. But those, I mean, in the beginning, Howard Stern is, Howard, Rob, and Fred, and Jackie the Joke Man, and they were just like, the four horsemen of radio. Jackie called them the Beatles of radio. Just doing some really ingenious stuff.
Yeah.
And Jackie and Howard have the financial issue, and Jackie goes away, and you're like, man, how do you replace Jackie Martling?
Yeah.
And Jackie was like a huge part of my wrestling travels, I should say. I would be driving to Al's in Ohio. You're stuck. You're looking before Sirius and before satellite radio and CDs and audiobooks that you can take whatever. You'd pull over at a truck stop and try to look for just something to play, and there will always be those Jackie the Joke Man cassette tapes at the truck stop. So I popped that in. I think there's a good point where I memorized so many Jackie the Joke Man jokes that I probably steal to this day. But Jackie, was one of the heartbeats. So you're like, how do you replace Jackie the Joke Man?
Yeah.
And Artie Lang steps in, and it's just like he adds a whole new element to that show. So many great moments and stories that just add new life to the show, breathe, resuscitate the show a little bit, give it a new fresh coat of paint, so to speak. If I borrow a line from JR, but and then Artie went away, but
it's a shame. Shame what happened.
Yeah. Got to meet Artie once. They did a New Year's Eve show at the Tower Theater in Philly. And I'm buddies with Richard Christie. And hey, Blue Meanie is my favorite.
My favorite, Brian Heffron. He's amazing.
I came along and I got to meet Artie. Sweetheart of a guy. But like, Howard Stern, pioneer of radio. There was the Howard Stern era. And that those mid to late 80s into the 90s, into satellite radio. Just talk about so many different things he did. And now people will hate on him, and that people. There's always that saying, people don't hate on people that suck.
Yeah.
Whether it was his feud with like Opie and Anthony or so many other people. I'm blanking on the other guy's name.
I'm trying to think. Well, there was Opie and Anthony was the big feud, and then there was Bubba the Love Sponge for a while that he was fighting with. That was at like the same time.
What was the one that was in Private Parts?
Oh God,
Imus,
yes.
He feuded with him, and Howard Stern was totally like pro wrestling. So
yeah.
If it is over, if he's calling it a day, it's just what a run, you know. But I don't get it that there's people out there that are like dancing on, Howard's the news that Howard's no longer going to be there, and there's stuff that pops up in my algorithm on the YouTubes and social medias. I'm just like, what a bunch of bitter cunts,
just it's true.
A lot of people should thank him for the bringing talk radio to the level it became.
Yeah. Well, then, excuse me. Then you had the Opie and Anthony Defenders, and you're like, man, that show was like, come on.
I liked O&A,
but it wasn't Stern. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't it wasn't Stern, and everybody was like, oh, they're going to be the next Stern, and this, and the other. It's just like, I don't know. It was okay. Like, it was a good lead in, or like it was a good like filler in the middle of the day kind of thing, But
I'll say
I preferred Bubba really when Bubba was on satellite when it was him and it was Howard, Bubba, and then Scott Farrell. Like that whole trio, I preferred that way more than anything I ever heard on terrestrial.
Forgot about Scott Farrell.
Yeah.
He had a show on WISP for a while there, but
yeah,
dude, I mean, talk about a guy who had such an impact on the radio. He look at what happened when he left terrestrial radio and how FM radio tried to recover. They hired David Lee Roth to try to fill in for him. That failed. They tried to do all these different things to fill it, like all the FM stations that played rock and roll went to be in talk radio stations to try to, counteract this, Sirius satellite radio that Howard was going to build, and like I said, he was like the Vince of radio. Yeah. He would go into other people's territories and take over, but yeah, like I said, I'm surprised my grandparents allowed me to buy such products, listen to the.
I love it.
They were letting me listen to George Carlin when I was a kid too. So
listen,
yeah, they had good taste.
I was going to say that's the answer. Yeah. Let me see. I got a bunch of questions or a bunch of comments here in the
lively chat here.
Yeah, we do. Got Mass Sanity here. Mass Sanity says, greetings from Penn Station. I'm heading to a bar to watch Tony Khan's soccer team's season opening match. Just want to pop in and say hello. A pleasant Baba Booey to you, sir.
Baba Booey to you.
Yeah, Baba Booey. We got Andrew Bailey saying Tata Toofy.
Yes.
Flop Flea Flow. Let me see who else here. Who's high pitch? Amazing. Amazing sound clip. Shackelford says, I tried to stump the joke man, but Jackie knew the joke right away. I too tried to stump the joke man one time when he did a Sirius show and could not stump the joke man.
There's a great documentary about Jackie the Joke Man out there. Yeah.
I'll have to take a look at it.
I think it's on Amazon Prime. It's called
Vanessa.
The Joke Man.
Vanessa is here, says Mancow was another one he feuded with. Yes. Mancow.
Dude, I got a Mancow story. So we're in Madison Square Garden for a WWE house show. And for whatever reason, Mancow's there. Like maybe he's just doing something in New York or whatever. I'm standing there. I got my half shirt, my Daisy Dukes, and all like my gimmick on. And then he walks by, and he's got a character called Turd or the Turd. And the guy wears a half shirt, and they're like kind of looking at me. Like, I don't know if he was thinking that I was ripping off the Turd or just because I'm that guy in a half shirt or what. But like, we kind of had to stare down. I'm like, I was about to say, what the fuck are you looking at? Yeah, but never really heard Mancow, never listened to him. He's got one of those yuck voice, like all
that shit. Yeah. Oh,
Krusty the Clown. But
Krusty the Clown.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, dude, here's a little sidebar. WYSB in Philly, they would play rock music, and there's a duo named Matt and Huggy.
Yes.
They took Down with the Sickness, the song by Wood Disturb. And when they got, instead of the wah or whatever that guy does, they put in Krusty the Clown. And that's so hard to still think about to this day. And that was just like over 20 years ago. But
that's incredible.
Yeah, back to Howard, man. Just Matt and Huggy were great. They had
a name I haven't thought about in a long time.
Yeah. Being a wrestler, being on the road, I guess the best thing is, talk radio, Because, if you're, just plenty of times I've been driving across, state of Pennsylvania, going through the mountains, bored out of my mind, and you're looking for something. And, Art Bell comes to mind. The Art Bell show, I would listen to, driving through the mountains because it felt like somebody was in the car with me,
Yes. Yeah.
And to this day, listen to WIP for the sports and all that stuff, and at sports talk, and that's eventually led to podcasting, and that's what we're doing here today.
Yeah, I think this is. I don't think any of these formats would really be available if Howard didn't do these things. If Howard didn't build this all and do everything here, and I think that he set the tone and the tenor for the format for pretty much everybody. But remains to be seen. We'll keep you updated, and we'll let you know what's going on there and see what comes from that. But What else is going on, man? I know let me try that one again. AEW is coming to the ECW arena for a what do you call it? It's
Residency.
Thank you very much. A residency that starts. I think it's not next week, but the following week. What are your thoughts on that? I know they got a lot of great shows coming up. I wanted to see what you thought about and WWE's been utilizing the 2300 arena as well. It seems like a lot of the companies are leaning into that ECW history. And I wanted to know your thoughts on that.
Hey, it's it's kind of like, it'd be unwise not to, come to Philly and utilize the 2300 arena because it's a great venue. I think it's awesome. It's smart of AEW to do these residencies where they're in a town for a certain week. They don't have to set up or tear down. They just, and they're saving money on travel. And when you do TVs, you got to cart all this stuff around, So it's just wise to utilize one building, had the people stay in that town for a week. I don't know if they're flying the town in and out or not, but hey, if they're bored after a show, meet me at McCusker's. But no, it's a wise thing to do, production wise, look wise. I think WWE's doing something in town at what's that other venue? The Fillmore. They might be doing something at Fillmore. The counter program, what AEW is doing in Philly, and it's like going back to the Howard Stern thing. They were just counter programming each other. It's just like pro wrestling, but I think it'll be smart. It'll be wise. Hopefully, I could get a chance to stop by and say hello to some folks.
Yeah.
Whether it's for fun or for not, or just say hello, or maybe do a meanie run in, or whatever that might entail. But it just goes back to how important Philadelphia is as part of the world of professional wrestling.
Again, I think ECW, it's cool that
what does that fucking mean?
What does that mean? I think it's cool to see that the companies are embracing the legacy of what you guys did. And I know, as you know, the Blue Meanie lives under the ring there at the 2300 arena. So we would love to
free under the ring at the ECW arena.
Listen, we would love to see. I'm just saying, Tony, friend of the show. There's a blue guy we'd love to see on our televisions.
I'm a cheap date, bro. I always say it takes me 10 minutes to walk to the ECW arena, 15 if I walk backwards. So not pandering at all.
Not at all. No. Hey, man, listen, it's just a good time. Hey, it's a good time. So, no, man, I'm excited. It's been a good couple weeks here. Watched the Phillies last night. Was it last night or the night before? I can't remember which one it was. It must have been the night before.
Totally out of market, so I can't watch. So.
Yeah, they looked okay. They played the Nationals. They lost 3-2, but
last night they won. I know that for a fact because there was with the closer, new closer, Duran.
Duran.
I really like the Wolf.
That's right.
Yeah. I guess there was a scare last night. I didn't get to see what happened. Like I said, I'm not on planet Earth right now. I'm not in Philly, so I have to follow the Phillies through the social medias. But things are looking good. I can't believe football's around the corner. I think I said this last week, so if I'm apologetic, repeat myself, just deal with it. It's the CTE kicking in.
Oh, geez.
Early onset rigor mortis kicking in. I got this thing going on with my thumb. I don't know what the fuck's going on. It's just, as Mick Jagger said, as a drag getting older. But hey, the sun's up. I'm in a good place with good people. So
it's a beautiful day outside. Speaking of that, yesterday I got a chance to go to Monster Mania convention, and I met up with a friend of yours, friend of the show, Kevin Nash. Had a chance to chat with him a little bit.
Nice.
Sends his regards as well.
That's awesome.
But I want to plug Hastel Toys, which is something that they did. I think it'd be great to see a Blue Meanie figure over there. I know a guy. Listen, I know a guy.
Threaten me with a good time.
Listen, I know a guy. I could talk to him. Shout out to Mitchell Hastel. Great. They have a whole set of brand new. I don't know if y'all are interested. If you would like this, they have a whole set of Diesel Hasbro style action figures. And they are all of the proceeds are actually going. Mitchell unfortunately lost his wife last year, and him and Kevin worked together. And all the proceeds from those figures are going towards the cancer center that helped his wife through, unfortunately, her cancer. But really wonderful, guys, great time over there at Monster. I know if you're listening today live and you're in New Jersey, Kevin's going to be over there at the Monster Mania convention again today, and they are selling out quickly. So I watched the table clear off at least twice. So,
Nice.
But yeah, no, Kevin sends his regards, man. And I guess we could do an early Ask Meanie question here. Any fun stories with you and Oz and Mr. Nash?
Kevin Nash is amazing. Good dude. I'm glad you got to see him yesterday. But we did have a buddy I wrestled with, Chris Crude. He was running shows out in Wisconsin, and a small area, Eau Claire, Wisconsin. He would do like 2 or 3 dates. And we just bring out me and a bunch of the guys. And the one loop, actually, it was really cool. The one loop was around this time of year. It was on Tracy's birthday, because I remember we went out there and celebrated Tracy's birthday with Kevin Nash. But here's how cool Kevin Nash is like, I went out there opening night, had a match, and I did a spot where I guess this guy's main gimmick on the show, he would make the ref look the other way and low blow people. He was doing this on a series of shows. So I go to wrestle him. He goes to hit me with the low blow, turns around, celebrates it. I reach down my tights, pull out a cup. And when he turns around, I hit him with the mandible claw. I got to put the cup on his face and he sells. It goes down, comes back up. Do it again, and then we had the rest of the match. Go back to the locker room, and go in the back, and Kevin looks at me. He goes, does the motion of the cup gimmick to the face, and he gives me a 3, like tell me I should have done like a third time, because in pro wrestling everything happens in 3s. But
yeah,
the fact that Kevin was there as the headliner, and the fact that he didn't have to watch my match. He didn't have to give me advice. It's kind of cool that how invested he is in the rest. People get into wrestling, and you can say whoever Goldberg might be in it for never watched the business, never studied the business, never lived the business or whatever. But Kevin's one of those guys that's always thinking and talking and doing about the business, and that weekend. That weekend was a long year. That weekend, and we just hanging out and with Kevin. It was a good time. Kevin's a great guy, and I'm grateful to that the NWO guys were so cool with the BWO.
Yeah.
They could have just shit all over it, there's always that generation of people who came before, like, these new kids, like I always said, Lou Thez thought Harley Race was a spot monkey, just just too much.
Yeah.
And then Harley Race goes on to be a 7-time NWA world champion. So
crazy.
But Kevin's one of those veterans that embraces the next generation and wants to see him do well.
Yeah.
Every critique that somebody there's criticism and constructive criticism. There's people who think the next generation is doing too much, and maybe the next generation is doing a little bit too much, but it's also coming from a place of preserve your body, because I know what I've done to my body. Like I'll see something on TV, I'm like, oh man, I wish they didn't do it, and people are like, oh, well, actually, you were in ECW. I was like, yeah, that's how I formed that opinion.
Well, actually, Brian, if you want me
yeah, kind of lived it. Kind of wish I'd done things a little bit differently, not entirely, but I was lucky to be able to do some of the comedy gimmick to keep some spots on my bump card, but every day, my knees, my knees, back, and elbows and neck are going to be like, "Fuck you."
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Hey, well, fuck you.
yeah. But yeah, like I said, I got off a little side road there, but
No, dude, it's fine. This is the mind of the meanie, sir. This is what we do here. So
yeah. Uh, yeah, Nash has always been fun to be around, always fun to talk to, and I love watching. I love his podcast. I love his. Sean Oliver had a great series of DVD sets.
yeah,
You shoot interviews and stuff like that, and the Kevin Nash stuff was always my favorite stuff because his sense of humor is just like so up my alley.
Nash. Oh my God, yeah.
He gets all my references, but I'm glad you got to see him the other day. So
It was funny, man. I was starting to record with him, and Mitchell helped me set everything up, and it was perfect. It was like 5 minutes, just sat and chat with him. And right before, I won't share what he said to me because it's not on video, right? And I don't want to disclose that, but it was fucking hilarious what he was saying. It was like popping me so hard. I'm trying to get my shit together and it's like we're riffing, right? Because I feel like you and I share that same like dry or that goofy sense of humor, right? Yeah. And it was like perfect. It was just like talking to Jacob, right? Like just breaking balls, being hilarious. Like it was very funny. But he did refer to himself as Maud from the Golden Girls in the video. So because I asked him if he was Blanche, and he was like, no, I'm Maud, because I forget exactly the words that I used, but it's like your favorite trio of all time, your favorite group, the NWO. And he was like, oh, I thought you were gonna say the Golden Girls. And I was like, oh shit, I dropped the ball, man. It was just, it was fucking great. No, he was wonderful. I really enjoyed getting a chance to chat with him. And Jesse Brown says, Adam, is there any videos coming out of you meeting Sting and Kevin Nash? Yes, there is a trio of interviews coming to the Sportster next week. I had a chance to talk to not only Kevin Nash, but I spoke to Samoa Joe on the telephone yesterday before I went over to Monster Mania. And I also had a chance to sit and talk with Sting on video. And it's one of 2 interviews he's done, actually one of 3 the entire year. 2 of them have been with me. So I do not take that lightly because it's an incredible opportunity. So all those videos will be shared over the course of the week. I got to do some editing and put them all together. But yes, there will be video footage of that for you, reels and all kinds of good stuff. But I'm very grateful today. Shout out to Sting's team for helping me set that up. I appreciate you guys. But one thing I want to mention before we get into our favorite segment of the show, sir.
Yep.
New Jack in WWE 2K25 got a chance to play as the character the other day. And they had obviously, I was hoping it would be Natural Born Killers. I don't know why I thought it would be, but it wasn't. I just want to know if you had a chance to play the game or see the character play and what your thoughts were of seeing New Jack and immortalized in a video game.
Oh man, unfortunately, I haven't. Well, I can't. These new, I talk about, the generation came before. These new games, I tell you. Now I've had a chance to play the new 2K game. I'm very happy that New Jack's in it. I got to watch the video presentation of his entrance. Of course, you can't use Natural Born Killers, but the track they used for it was pretty good.
Yeah.
And the story about how they got New Jack into the video game just is mind blowing enough. With Nick Khan having always been a fan of New Jack, is just it's like, and like the reaction, people behind the scenes was like, really? Yeah. New Jack is another one who went against the grain. He's kind of like punk rock, everybody thinks about punk rock. He was defiant, to and just to his benefit, and sometimes to his detriment. But we lost him way too soon. But to see that, post mortem, he's made it onto an official WWE game. Yeah, it does my heart good because I still keep in touch with his family. I still talk to his wife, and anything that helps his family out, I'm all for. But the fact that he's here, and the fact that you gave him 2 separate entrances, one for the no holds barred matches and one for the regular matches. That's awesome. So now I haven't played it because I suck at like anything newer. I stick with usually just stick with Madden or MLB The Show, and MLB The Show, their plays are again a little bit too advanced for me. I still play MLB The Show 2019. I play Road to the Show, but man, I wish I could get into those games, but it's just I would need like a 7-year-old to tell me how to play that game.
Well, I got a 12-year-old that'll be happy to play whenever you want to come by. So James,
I need all the help I can get when it comes to these newfangled video games.
No, it is cool, man. I'll tell you one thing though. I know that hopefully if New Jack ends up with, or his estate and his family ends up with some kind of Legends deal, when I tell you I will be first in line to buy that New Jack action figure, that is not a joke. I don't care how much money I have. I will purchase that expeditiously. So no, I was very happy to see him in a game and get a little bit of gameplay there. It took me back to the 90s, and I hope again, I'm glad you liked it. But
oh yeah.
Actually, I had another question though, and I'm hoping you would like this question, sir.
What would that be?
Are you ready to ask Meanie?
I would love to.
It's time to ask me anything.
Ask me something.
Don't forget to drop your questions using the hashtag AskMeanie, and you may hear them on the show. Sir, what you sipping on today?
Oh, right now, just I don't have a seltzer. I got some green apple Gatorade here.
Perfect.
We had some libations last night, so
get your electrolytes up, man.
Yeah, man.
And,
I saw a meme that's like, it said nobody really likes Gatorade. Nobody likes Gatorade. You're either a hardcore athlete or a raging alcoholic. That's all Gatorade's for, So
I have the cheap shit from Aldi. I got the pink grapefruit again, keeping the trend going here, sir. Gonna crack this for us in 3, 2, 1. There she is.
There we go.
I started to choke a little bit. Sorry, I had to bump us forward. Excuse me.
No, nothing scary than taking a huge gulp of whatever, and you get that chest pain. You're like, oh, this is the one, right? This is
it. This is how I die. This is the end. No, I swallowed for a second, and it was like, oh, that's not good. I don't know what happened. Something got stuck in my throat.
Yeah.
Got a couple questions for you here today. Thank you for your questions. Matt from Dover wants to know, hey, Meanie.
What's that?
Karrion Kross, work or shoot?
Oh, man. I'm teeter-tottering on it. Because if the Karrion Kross things will work, they're doing what I think, they should let, a guy like CM Punk do. Like when Punk said his contract was running out, and that he's leaving the company with the belt, but they made the mistake of just bringing him back the next day.
Yeah.
Punk go out and do indie shows as WWE champion, have him go to like New Japan, have him go to Ring of Honor with the WWE belt just to put it over. Like back in the day, they did the WCW did the Vader World Tour where he just showed up to random promotions and just wrecked people. Now, and like I said, when Punk won the belt and his contract was up, quote unquote, they should just let him have a run on the indies, just showing up with the WWE belt and defending,
Yeah.
What's WWE going to do, But now with the Karrion Kross thing, his contract is up.
Mm-hmm.
And, he went on Ariel Helwani's show and talked about the situation. And you appeared on his second documentary.
That's true. I was there.
Or two. Yeah. So now they've opened up a pro wrestling tees and this announced a series of conventions, which, okay, you can open up a pro wrestling tees and they're doing conventions, but they're not running shows. They're not wrestling anywhere yet soon. So if it's a work, hopefully it's a, they let him roll with it for a little bit where he just shows up randomly just to fuck with them, and just do whatever. But I think they dropped the ball with him. If this is a shoot, they definitely dropped the ball with him. He has the fan momentum going for him. The people are literally chanting, "We want Kross" at Triple H. Post SummerSlam. Just I hope this is just a big elaborate work. Triple H hears the "We Want Kross," he goes, "Oh yeah," I forgot who he said, but to pretend he's not listening. But yeah, I think it's a little bit of a work. I'm leaning work.
Yeah. And so yeah, he says, "Oh, you want Brock? You got him." I was actually there live when he said that. Me and shout out to Joey Carney from the Angle Podcast. We were walking around, and as a friend of the show was talking about it, he was like, "Oh yeah, you want Brock? You got him." I was like, "They didn't say fucking Brock." I literally yelled. I was like, "They didn't say Brock. They said Kross. The fuck are you talking about?"
Yeah.
Nobody's talking about Brock. Everybody knows Kross. But Jesse Brown actually has a good point. I'm glad you brought this up because I do have some thoughts on this. How many times can they work things like this, though? That we saw it with R-Truth, and he hasn't done much since coming back. Okay, so to that point, I think in this scenario, it's a lot different.
Yeah.
R-Truth was brought back, and meaning you can agree or disagree and give your context on this after I say my thoughts because I'm curious your take on it. Truth was brought back for the locker room. R-Truth being released was brought back for the fans and the guys and the folks in the locker room. And a lot of us who thought this is bullshit that he was released. He's a lifer. He shouldn't have gone anywhere. I think they shotgunned the R-Truth going back to the gimmick character a little bit too quickly with the John Cena thing. I would have still liked to see that dark element of Ron Killings come through, which I think they did last night with Aleister Black. Like they're blending the worlds a little bit, which I really like that, and I think the fans and the people at WWE, the resounding sentiment about him being released was like, you guys fucked up. And I think WWE realized they fucked up.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that they allow that Ron Killings character to build so that way he can potentially challenge for, the big gold belt or WWE champ, whatever it is. Like the guy needs championship gold outside of the tag team titles before he retires, right?
Yeah.
And he's an established champion as his own, right? NWA champion, like the guy's got accolades out the ass. I think this is a lot different because he's Hunter's guy. Kross has always been a Hunter guy.
Yeah.
Hunter's always seen something in Kross that he knows that he can be a top guy. And to your point about this being a work, I think that's exactly what they're trying to do here. They're trying to build that fan resentment or that sentiment towards Kross. We want this guy. We want him to be on our TV every single week. We want him to be our champion.
Yeah.
And I think that's what this is about. And I think with the Seth Rollins thing, I think people say online, and Meanie, you see this all the time too. It's like, oh, they're killing kayfabe and they're doing this. And yeah, well, how many fucking people, including us, were worked by the Seth Rollins angle?
Oh, absolutely.
So for me, it's like, I could see this being a very elaborate work, but I think if they do this right and that they execute it properly, like you said, he shows up in the indies at some point, he starts doing some shit, he starts fucking with them, right? You bring him back to major fanfare, you put the belt right on him.
Yeah.
Simple. Yeah. What do you think about that?
Do something with him. He's creative. He's always thinking that he's basically built his own momentum, his own push. It's just up to them to harness it and put the machine behind it. So, but maybe this is their version of putting the machine behind them because it's easier to get behind somebody who's being held down than somebody who's already being lifted up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If it looks like he's being put down and put down, and then he comes up through the adversity of this, he'll be even bigger. I mean, when you got Paul Heyman saying he reminds him of Stone Cold Steve Austin and Ariel Helwani. I mean, what more do you need?
The level of cosign. That's the other thing that makes me think this is a work, because Paul Heyman goes on Ariel Helwani, and says, like, that's not just like a regular cosign, dude. You know this. Like, I'm preaching to the choir here. That is not, and not even just a cosign from Heyman, but the fact that he was like, he's basically this generation Stone Cold Steve Austin with the fan, like, and then you let this guy go?
Yeah.
Come on. That's fucking ridiculous.
That's where I'm at. That's kind of what makes me think it's, a work. So,
yeah, I am mystified if this is a shoot, I am fucking mystified that they would let this man go. Like,
Yeah.
I spoke to someone else recently. I won't reveal who it is, but we had some thoughts about some talent who I felt like were released, and this person was very much in the same boat where it was like, yes, they dropped the ball on this particular person, but if they let Kross go, it's the biggest ball drop I think in the past 10 years.
Oh, absolutely.
And I can't even. I guess it remains to be seen, but to that point, yes, I did appear in Karrion Kross's documentary. It's The Killer Part 2. It's the title, I think, is my WWE contract ends today.
Yeah.
And I'm right at the very end of the documentary. My question it feels like it tied up the documentary really well. So I want to thank Kross for using that in there, and I really appreciate that being a part of it. And I thank you all for reaching out and telling me that as well. Last question of the day. Jesse Brown says, your thoughts on WWE's option on buying TNA?
I mean, is that the rumor?
That's the rumor. Yeah. That's the rumor and innuendo is that apparently they have some kind of big media rights deal. John Alba from Takedown on SI reported that they potentially are looking into like an NBC property to stream TNA on. And sounds like maybe the CW, something like that. But buying TNA, I mean, I guess maybe the rumors and the thoughts are that it's potentially going to be something like a AAA type of situation.
Right. I mean, can't hurt. WWE's making money. They're printing money right now. And essentially they would be acquiring it for the tape library, since most of their superstars have gone over to TNA. But if they buy it, it can't be to me, it wouldn't be a bad thing. But even if they just help build them up and just lease their talent,
yeah, yeah.
Either way, I've been really enjoying this partnership between WWE, NXT, TNA, just because that's how wrestling was back in the day. In the territory days, somebody was through in the territories. Oh, okay, we're going to send you over to here, and then that person can always go back. Seeing AJ Styles show up on the TNA's show was awesome.
Yeah.
If they buy him, I can see that strictly being for the tape library. And just to have a place for their folks to go, create their own territory. Okay. We got enough for you on the main roster. Go over to TNA. Don't have anything for you, TNA. Go over to NXT. Okay. You don't want to go off TV for a little bit. Go down to AAA. Work in Mexico for a little bit. Out of sight, out of mind, but you're still staying in ring shape. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, if they do that and they create their own little universe build their own little territory, it can only be beneficial for the talent, especially when they're doing away with live events or they're slowing down live events. These guys need some place to, stay sharp, stay fresh, And the thing about live events, that was the best place to do something new and not be seen. You do something on TV and you mess up, it's replayed on Botchamania forever. But if you go to a house show and you're trying something new in front of a couple, and there's no cameras, nobody sees it. You try it. If it works, oh my God, bring it to TV. If it doesn't work, oh, I tried, I won't do that again, kind of thing. So, but if they buy him, I mean, if they buy him or not, don't buy him. I think TNA's in the probably the best ship they've ever been in.
Yeah.
So,
absolutely.
if they get on a legit network, TNA used to have to it was kind of like ECW, you had to search it out,
Yeah.
So if they get on something that's easily accessible, it's just beneficial for the wrestling business and as a whole.
Absolutely. Thank you for your question, Joe. We appreciate you. Don't forget to use the hashtag #AskMeanie, and you may hear them on the show. But Meanie.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So, where can everybody keep up to date when they're not listening to the program?
If you would like to follow Blue Meanie on all forms of social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Blue Meanie PWO, on all forms of social media. To support Blue Meanie, go to ProWrestlingTees.com/Blue Meanie. To support Mind of the Meanie, go to ProWrestlingTees.com/Mind of the Meanie. MadcatBeardCare.com. Get the Blue Spruce Beard Oil and Balm. Shout out to my boy Josh Thornton for doing an amazing job over there. Great cat lover like myself. He rounds up all the feral cats in his neighborhood, takes them to the vet, and leaves them better than he found them. So all the proceeds from MadcatBeardCare.com goes towards taking care of the cats. So go over there and say, tell Josh that the Meanie sent you. The Ultra Pro Wrestling video game coming to all major consoles. The Ultra Pro Wrestling video game contains not only original characters by the amazing Al Haney, but many real-world wrestlers, including myself and many others I'm trying not to spoil. Go to ultraprowrestling.com or follow them on Twitter. It'll always be Twitter at UPW Video Game. That's ultraprowrestling.com or follow them on Twitter at UPW Video Game. The Figure Collections Bone Crushing Wrestler Series 1 variants of the Blue Meanie are available right now. All Series 1s can be ordered right now at shop.figurecollections.com. That's shop.figurecollections.com. Type Blue Meanie in the search bar. Hit BWO Blue Meanie or regular Blue Meanie. Either way, there is no wrong choice. To add the Blue Meanie on your podcast, go to podstars.net. That's podstrz.net. Register your podcast, The Blue Guy. Let's have a conversation over there at podstars.net. Cameo.com/Blue Meanie BWO for all birthdays, holidays, and well wishes. Please book the site. Don't book through the app. The app takes way too much of your hard-earned money. I just did a couple last week. Had a lot of fun. Got a lot of 5-star reviews. So if you want to, send somebody a message or just make your day a little bit brighter, go to Cameo.com/Blue Meanie BWO. But Mr. Barnard, the more important question is, where can we find you, sir?
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and the TikTok, or the Talk, or whatever the kids call it these days. This is Goober. Yes, it's my handle. No, I'm not changing it. It's a brand, pal. So go ahead and find me there. You can also find my other show, Foundation Radio, by going to youtube.com/@FoundationRadioPod. Shout out to the homies at the 10th Ward Barbershop in downtown Lawrenceville, in the outskirts of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Go and get your hair cut by Kane, Jordan, and the rest of the team over at 10thwardbarbershop.com. Make sure you schedule your appointment in advance. They book up quickly, and I don't want you to miss out. You want to look beautiful. Don't forget to check out my writing. I'm doing network TV stuff. Got a lot of fun stuff coming up as we come back into the network TV cycle this fall. So go ahead and check me out at ScreenRant.com. And don't forget to check me out, The Sportster. I'm the lead interviewer over there for all things wrestling related, WWE, AEW, TNA, and more. Will very likely be at some of the residency for AEW. We'll also be at Monday Night Raw this week coming up. This Monday, actually, when you're listening to this, I'll be in Philadelphia, so I will see you there. But don't forget my interviews with Samoa Joe, Kevin Nash, and Sting. 3 names I literally can't believe that I interviewed, but I did, coming this week to The Sportster. So don't forget to check it out. The link for the YouTube channel will be in the notes, as well as where you can find the articles. ProWrestlingTees.com/Mind of the Meanie. Pick up a shirt and keep the lights on at Casa DeMeanie and the Barnard Home for Wayward and Troubled Youth. Don't forget to go to Patreon.com above my head here /Mind of the Meanie. Sign up today. Tiers start at just $10 a month. Join us and you can watch us live each and every week. And if you look above Meanie's head there, it's youtube.com/@Mind of the Meanie. Jesus Christ, what are they doing? Why do they have the letters above us? I don't like that, Meanie. I'm just saying.
On ocean.
It's a little uncomfortable looking at that Patreon logo just waiting to fall on top of my head. But go and subscribe today and get all of our archive all the way going back to the year of our Lord Jesus Christ, 2021. And if you look below us here, it's all of our social media handles at Mind of the Meanie. We want to thank you for joining us here. We can't do the show without you. We appreciate you. We appreciate you for listening. Tell a friend, tell a wrestling friend, tell anybody you want to, tell an enemy if you'd like. Just let them know that the show fucking rocks. So we appreciate you. Meanie, thank you for your time, sir. We'll see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel for the Blue Meanie. I am Adam Barnard. Join us again each and every week as we take a trip through the mind of the Meanie. Peace.
Blue World Order.
This episode of Mind of the Meanie is hosted and executively produced by the Blue Meanie and Adam Barnard. It was mixed and engineered by Carl Pinnell. Additional narration is provided by the executive voice, Sam Krebs. That's me. Our intro music was performed by the Swamp Candles. Our outro music was performed by Chikara. Additional musical accompaniment is performed by Enrichment. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter, or X or whatever, at Mind of the Meanie, and become part of the Pod Squad by going to patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. Find our entire show archive at mindofthemeanie.com. This has been a Butts Carlton media production. Butts Carlton, proprietor.
Blue World Order.
That was Blue Meanie's brain out.